Om Namo Narayana. Welcome back to our reading of the Tripura Tapini. Today we're looking at part 2. Then, therefore, having uttered the verse, let us for all-knowing fire the Soma press, etc., one achieves the realization of Tripura. The seer said, explain the form of the extensive seed letters latent in the beginning, middle, and end of the glorificatory verse, let us for all-knowing fire, etc. The Lord responded, utter the verse. Repeat backwards the last group of the Adi Vidya, Saka, La, Hrim. Lengthen the first syllable of the first group, As, Ka, and that of the second group, As, Ha. Together we get Ha, Ka. They say that this verse, let us press the Soma, refers to the state in which cosmic ignorance vanishes. It is competent to extinguish all that has been imagined as other than Brahman. It is the most excellent and blissful. It is the great glory. The first group, called Vagbhava, the same as all prosperity, causes the sublation of the world of objects. The second group, named after Kama, supports the world of objects. The third, named after Shakti, brings it into being. Thus, meditating on the three groups and purifying the mind and elucidating the incantation of Tripura, one utters the mantra. Then there dawns the wisdom called the incantation Maha Vidyeshvari. Relying on the incantation of Tripureshvari, having uttered the word Jata Vadase, that meaning for all-knowing fire, and associating the dot denoting the divine principle of Shiva with the vowels A, etc. of the pranava, one gets the serpent power that has become one with immortality and has assumed the triangular form at the base of the spinal column. Thus, of the chief principle of Adividya, the first group beginning with Ka is Vagbhava. The second beginning with Ha is the Kamakala. With the utterance of the syllables Jata, the Supreme Self is clearly expressed. By the syllables Jata, etc., the Supreme Undifferentiated Self, Shiva, is denoted. From birth onwards, given to desires, one desires lordship. When desires are renounced, perfection of one's nature results. So the knowers of Brahman declare. That very thing, the perfect spirit of Shiva, we declare aright as installed in the three laws, the seed letters of the earth, clarifying the letters of the mantras in the light of the significance of the three laws, which denote existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute. Each in the midst of the three groups, the word Gotra must be understood. The principle of Shiva is said to have been installed in this Gotra. Thus has it been elucidated. Thus follows the Kamakala, the second group beginning with Ha. The rest may be elucidated, as before, with reference to Vaman. The incantation thus explained is styled Sarvarak Shakari, the all-protecting one. Thus, having clarified this incantation by Tripureshi, by means of the verse Jatavadase, etc., there remains but the one supreme divinity, the light. Or, this results from the incantation consisting of the three groups. Grant the boon of the fourth, that being to meditate on the fact that the three groups do not exist independently of Shiva. Fully identify the eye sense with the nature of the Lord. Relate each of the three groups with the incantation styled the all-protecting one. Also clarify the incantation of the Atmasana form. Repeat the verse Chatavadase, etc. And once more recall to mind the all-protecting incantation. Assign the form of Shiva and Shakti to the initial and final positions of the all-protecting incantation. Know that the syllable Sa in the verse Chatavadase has Shakti as its quintessence, and that word, Soma, represents the prowess, whose quintessence is Shiva. Whosoever knows this becomes great. Thus elucidate this incantation which abides in Tripura and which is set forth in the circular seat. Repeat the verse Chatavadase, etc., and also the incantation of Tripureshvari, which is ever ascendant, and whose quintessence is Shiva and Shakti, as already set forth. Jatavedas symbolizes Shiva, and Sa has the imperishable Shakti as its essence. Elucidate Tripura, the ever-ascendant Mahalakshmi, resting on the seat of mantras symbolized by Ha and Sa, denoting the sun and the moon, pervading the three groups and subsisting in between Shiva and the primeval power. Repeat the verse Chatavadase, Suna, Vama, Soman, etc., and call to mind the previous incantation associated with the seat of the real self. With the words Veda, etc. in the verse, essentially the same as the sun denoted by Ha, is indicated the universal power of the spirit, ever abiding in the seat of the adept. Repeat the verse Chatavadase, Suna, Vama, Soman, etc., relying on the enchanting Tripura. Contemplate her in the syllables Ka and La. Elucidate the embodied incantation of Tripura, the sovereign over all incantations. Repeat Chatavadase, etc., and relying on Tripura, the Lakshmi, one consumes fire. Elucidate the incantation of Tripura, the mother, the sovereign threefold light, knowing that she consumes with a mouth of fire. Thus the words Sa, Ma, Par, Sad, Ati, Dara, Gani, Visva. She illuminates the Supreme, she who is the inner self. Her incantation here, having become an effect, is utilized in the act of hailing. She is deemed competent in every way. Thus these 8 incantations, the very limbs of the divine Mahamaya, are elucidated. The gods then said to the blessed Lord, "Tell us about the foremost of the wheels, which promotes all the desires, is adorned by all, takes all forms, faces all quarters, and is a gateway to liberation, by adoring which the yogins cut through the knot of differences into the undifferentiated bliss of Supreme Brahman." To them the Lord said, "We shall elucidate the concept of Sri Chakra. Make a triangle with 3 vertices. In it, take as a measure a line, lengthen it, and make a triangle further in front of it, parallel to the base of the first triangle, but over it make another triangle. The first triangle is the wheel, the second is the intermediary region, and the third has marking it the 8 triangles. Then, moving the line beyond the intermediary quarters on the extremities of the 8-spoked wheel, move the line for solicitating the sadhyas. Have the upper part marked with triangles. Draw 4 lines going up from the closed regions. In due order with 2 measuring lines, the wheel comes to be marked with 10 triangles. In the same manner again, the wheel with 10 spokes takes shape. The wheel with 14 spokes takes shape by joining the measuring line brought up to the parts of the 10 spokes, after having joined the 4 vertices of the central triangles with the triangles at the extremities of the 4 lines. Then take shape respectively the wheels enveloped in the 8 lotuses, the 16 lotuses, and the earth wheel with 4 gates. Thus has the wheel been elucidated by the process of construction. I enumerate in the reverse order the elements of the wheel consisting of the 9 cells. The first wheel enchants the 3 worlds, has the 8 powers, such as the power to assume atomic size, etc., has the 8 mothers, has the decade beginning with the all-agitating force, etc., is manifest, is occupied by Tripura, and is characterized by the mystic mark of the all-agitating force. The second wheel fulfills all expectations, is conjoined with the 16 attractive powers beginning with Sakama. It is well protective, occupied by the sovereign Tripura, and is characterized by the mystic mark of the all-scattering force. The third wheel agitates all and is adorned with the 8 flowers of Cupid. It is better secured, occupied by the beautiful Tripura, and is characterized by the mystic mark of the all-fascinating force. The fourth wheel grants excellence to all, has 14 forces like the all-agitating force, is associated with the tradition, is occupied by the dweller in the 3 cities, and is marked by the mystic mark of the all-subduing force. The fifth wheel beyond the fourth accomplishes all ends, such as the power to yield all perfections, as the fullness of the Kala is occupied by Mahalakshmi, who is Tripura, and is marked by the mystic mark of the greatly exciting force. The sixth wheel protects all, has 10 traits such as omniscience, is devoid of interspaces, is occupied by the garland Tripura, and has the mark of the great goad. The seventh wheel cures all diseases, has 8 forces such as the force to subdue, has its mysteries, and bears the mystic mark of Kechari. The eighth wheel grants all perfections, is characterized by 4 weapons and the mysteries higher and lower. It is occupied by the mother Tripura, and has the mystic mark of the seed. The ninth master wheel is replete with all delight and associated with a triad such as Kameshvari. It is exceedingly mysterious, occupied by the great Tripura, the beautiful, and has the mystic mark of the triangle. All the meters, indeed, have passed over as spokes into the wheel. This wheel is the Sri Chakra. In its hub, in the sphere of fire, are the sun and the moon. Worship the seat of the syllable Om there. There is the imperishable in the form of the point. Call to mind the supreme incantation, sky-like and impermanent in it. Bring thither the great Tripura, the beautiful. Petition her with a single verse. Goddess, in milk bathed with sandal paste besmeared. Goddess, with bilva leaves worshipped. Durga, I seek refuge in thee. Adore her with the mantra of Maya Lakshmi. Thus spoke the blessed Lord. With these mantras, adore the blessed goddess. Then she becomes pleased and manifests herself. So whoever worships with these mantras sees Brahman. He sees all things and achieves immortality. Whoever so knows this. This is the great Upanishad. And that ends part 2. So a little apology. I believe the light bulb is going out on my light above me. Sorry for some unintended special effects there.